Are live.
Yeah, we are live.
Hi everyone, my name is Deborah Dogba. I'm the owner of BizSeals consulting firm. BizSeals is a consulting firm, like I just said, that helps entrepreneurs start their own business, help entrepreneurs lay foundation, as well as helping business owners or failing businesses kind of get back on their feet. And today we are going to talk about healthy competition. I have Suzanne here. She's going to introduce herself, and I have Jack. Suzanne?
Yeah, so I'm Suzanne Combs Brown. I'm the owner of Kairos Culture, and I do coaching and workshops and public speaking at small groups and corporate events and just help people live out their best lives.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm Jack Bigadu. I'm an insurance agent here serving them multiple communities in the Midwest. I do all type of insurance and I understand a little bit how competitions work. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So today's discussion topic is healthy competition. Why do we need to talk about competition? So ever since I have incorporated my business, I noticed that I'm working with competitors. Competitors, they come to me to help them with their businesses, and some of them, they're reluctant when they know that I'm also working with the other competitors. So I've been thinking about ways and strategies to help competitors and not be in trouble, you know.
Right.
So how do we practice healthy competition in this world, in Omaha specifically? There are a lot of growing businesses, growing entrepreneurs, and how do we practice healthy competition? Even do we have to practice competition? Suzanne, from your perspective.
So as far as practicing healthy competition,
Even do we need to
Compete.
I think we absolutely need to compete. For me, in my business, it was a mindset shift that I had to make in terms of looking at the world that there's too much out there, or there's other people selling my products or selling my services in terms of coaching and speaking and doing workshops, and really changed my mindset that by connecting with and meaningful connections in terms of what others are doing and learning from them, open my mind to those learnings. And then also the mindset of that if somebody else is doing it, the market is saturated and the community is saturated, and coming to it with an abundance place in terms of there's enough for everyone to go around, and how I connect with Jack or how I connect with you is different than others might, and so there is enough for everyone to go around. So for me, looking at competition as healthy was a matter of a mindset shift for me personally with my business.
Well, thank you for that. We'll come back.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, the word is built on competition. That's how I see it. Since you're in kindergarten, you compete for people's attention, you compete. We always are literally competing, right? I think the problem when it comes to competition is, like you say about the mindset, do you take it personally or do you keep it to the subject matter? Because most things, what makes competition dangerous and not healthy is that most people would turn it into something personal.
Make it negative.
Negative, right? Everybody competes.
Yeah.
There's a reason why when you see a Walgreens facing it, there's a CVS. There's a reason why when you see a Walmart in the corner, there's a Target. They almost sell the same thing. So healthy competition, I don't think there is such a thing as healthy competition, but healthy competition is almost the drive, or I would say the essence you draw from that competitive feeling to make you better, to challenge yourself and actually make you better in the subject matter that you see yourself be. I mean, when you see athletes, they're all competing on the same level, but they're different.
Right.
And they use that competition to go, you know what? I wanna be better than you. We do the same thing, but maybe I've seen something you've done and I want to do better than that. So that's my view when it comes to competition. I literally thrive off competition. I love that.
Yeah. And I think too, just to add, I think without competition, human nature is, some of us would become complacent and
that's
comfortable.
the word. Yeah.
And then we're not developing ourselves, we're not developing products, we're not developing services that take it to that next level. And so it creates a space to not be complacent and not be lazy, if you will, in terms of that.
So it's very interesting what you said. There's competition everywhere. Even among siblings, they compete all the time for the love of their parents, for the attention of their parents, and their competition is everywhere. What is healthy competition? Like Jack said, it's striving to improve your products or your services. Unhealthy competition, when I did a little bit of research, is instead of focusing on the quality of the product or the quality of the service, we focus on the flaws of the product or services that the competitor is offering. What is your experience with that?
So, in terms of focusing on the flaws, I think that takes the attention off of us, so that makes us not be self-aware. It makes us not concentrate on our products and our services and our growth. So I look at that as an excuse. It's an excuse to stay in the here and now. It's an excuse not to grow. It's an excuse to say, oh, I've done enough. And enough isn't enough in a competitive world. And to your point, Jack, we're always competing, right? Since we're born growing up. And so it's an excuse. It's an excuse to stay where we are and not get uncomfortable and not try things and fail and not make mistakes. And that's unhealthy to stay in that place.
But also, we have to understand there's a difference between competing and comparing.
Yes.
See,
that's
a lot
huge
of
for women.
Correct, right? because a lot of people will use comparison to either paint a bad picture of the competition versus really competing, right? Because the truth is, if I'm competing with someone, it's assumed that you and I are doing the same thing. We have the same advantages. We just have our way of doing it. Though the competition comes in play in, okay, how much more do I want? Right? That's really what it comes to. Is a personal thing. How much more do I want it? And how well can I say the same thing you said to convince the same audience that we are getting to? Right? We both can go to a shoe salesman, right? And buy the same shoe that he's selling. We both can walk out and you buy it and I didn't. And if you ask us, why did you buy it and I didn't? I would say, whatever came out did not resonate with me.
The connection.
The connection wasn't there, right? So I believe also competition truly is really cultural, right? We are from a different culture. Competition is not something that we're raised with. In American culture, in the immigrant culture, we don't really compete. We either do or we don't, or the opportunity is given to us or not. In the American culture, we had to come here and learn that everybody does everything and you just have to be the best at what everybody does. So when you look at mindset, it's a really mind shift for us. So it depends also the type of audience you're dealing with, right? When you start feeling that, or why is it that my audience or my client has a problem with me doing business with the same type of client that they are, the problem is not you. The problem is the client, right? The client is feeling as if there is almost that cheating between them versus actually, oh no, this person is just catering to all of us, providing the same thing, putting us all in the same bucket. So there is that there's that comparison. Cultural wise, some people will always compete, right? They compete. It's like I came to America, it's competition 100% every day. Same level field, we all start, we do the same. But you go to West Africa, you go to some places, there's no competition. There's one main person and everybody else is below them. So.
Okay.
So I would like to tell the viewers, if you have questions, drop them in the comment
Comments.
box, and then we'll try to answer them, or we will just review the questions and address them later. So talking about competition, healthy competition, unhealthy competition, from a business that offers services standpoint, how should we practice healthy competition?
So personally, some of the things that I do, and I've talked a little bit about it, but I can go into a little bit more detail. I seek out people that are doing the same thing as me. I'm purposeful about that.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
yeah.
And amen. You just said something very important.
Yeah.
That when you're done with your point, I will bring it to the immigrant view of that point. Go
Good.
ahead.
Yeah. So I say it's purposeful because I seek out, I go look for people that are coaching, people that are doing speaking events, people that are making connections with people to help in businesses, in personal life, in community, whatever their goals are. And I seek knowledge from them. I may reach out, oftentimes I'm reaching out to say, hey, you want to have coffee? Because I want to learn some things from you. Or I may go and check out their business websites and their business resources and what are they doing. I make an effort to connect with those people, and I'm really honest about the fact that we can be doing the exact same thing, but I know that I can learn from them, and I hope that I bring something to the table at the same time, that I can teach them some things as well. So I think being very purposeful about it and being very transparent that that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm seeking to learn from them because they're doing some of the same work. They're developing some of the products and services that I am. And your point, Jack, about comparison is really important there, because it can't be about comparison. It has to be about what are they doing that I can learn from, and then I can compete with them, healthy competition, at the same time. And I'll take it a step further. There's times that I'm not the person for a connection that I make, or I'm not the person that's best resource. I'll go so far to say, but I know Deborah or I know Jack, and they are doing the work that you need, and I think they'd be a better fit. And I've had people tell me that that's not wise because I'm giving away business. But I know that when you do it the right way and you connect people and you're doing it for those reasons, that it will come back tenfold. So I don't worry about that.
I'll even take what you said a step further. Imagine if you and your husband do the same thing. Two different people, but do the same thing. My best friend and I do the same thing. So I eat with this person, hang out with him all the time.
Right.
But we're in the same business. Different thing we sell, but do the same thing.
Right.
We cater to almost the same part, but we both have to see how is it that we're in the same town, do the same thing, and still can be competing.
Right.
So
And stay friends.
You see?
Do you
Right.
guys still talk to each other?
All the time. Every day.
Yeah.
Almost. So when you think about it, is that, to your point, I realized that competition was good when I realized this: to be able to compete, you have to be able to learn. So if you're not learning from the person, I believe you only compete with somebody you truly look up to. To really compete with someone. Because if I have to actually if I don't look up to someone, I don't see them as doing well, really they're not a competition.
Yeah.
So it's almost a sort of flattery. If somebody's trying to compete with me, I see more as a flattery, because I'm like, oh, you want to do what I do.
Right.
I will show you what I do, but let's see how well you can do it.
Right, right.
So that's where that almost is a gray area, right? Because, and also honesty is a big deal.
Right.
Honesty, because you, like let's say you're giving away business, you may not be the one.
Right.
You have to be honest with yourself. I think when greed settles in into anything, all of a sudden competition is no longer there.
Right. Then you get into comparison.
You start comparing yourself
Yeah.
to people. Oh, you did it blue and I did it white. Blue is better than white. So la la la.
Right. Right.
You
I
no
will
longer
say live.
competing.
Somebody is asking if.
We are live.
Okay. All right.
I think referrals are great. Fidel just said, I think referrals are great, and I refer a client out to others as well whenever necessary. That is true.
Yeah.
I can send people come to me. I work in insurance, right? And I have people that come to me like, I'm not gonna sit there and go, "Oh, my company's the only one that does everything."
Right.
No, but I send them out. I have friends that were for the competition, and they will send me business,
Right.
and I'll send them business
Yeah.
because we are you are the competition, but if you truly compete when you put your ego in the back. You are honest and you actually are doing what's best for the client and not for you.
Right. Right.
Selfishness doesn't help in competition at all.
Not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. And there's companies. We have companies that we see over the years, right? I think of, and I'm not going to say names for copyright, but there's a movie company that was going to buy a movie company.
Correct.
Well,
correct.
that movie, the movie rental places don't exist anymore.
Correct.
Because that competition was a comparison. It wasn't looked at as a learning. And the rental companies for movies are gone.
Correct.
And you have the digital movie companies, and
Sure.
that's just one example. There's many out there where companies' products could have they tried to partner. One company tried to partner and go after a community and go after the market, and the other company didn't want anything to do with it. And where are they now?
Oh yeah. The funny thing is, like in my business, an insurance business, right? How many insurance companies do people know?
Yeah.
Truly, a lot of insurance companies.
Yeah.
How many people do what I do? A lot. We all are competing on the same field.
And there is something also very important. The reason why a client would choose to go to Jack versus Suzanne is repetition. And
True.
also the image that you have,
Perception.
the perception. So that also plays a huge role when it comes to competition. We all have different preferences, so we choose to go to who we are comfortable with. And also, in my culture, like he said, from a different perspective, the reason why people don't like going to, some competitors is also because of confidentiality. That's something that I think we'll come back to address also, or just to talk about, because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to build that trust, you have to set that boundary, and also make sure you practice business ethic when it comes to confidentiality. Do you have an experience with that?
Oh yeah. But you have to understand, in the immigrant community is a little different, right? Because, there is such a thing as understanding how someone's business work and taking yourself out of the situation. And this is something personally I had to learn. I'm Jack, right, the African, but I'm also Jack, the business owner. And when I represent my business, it is my business. It's not me. My personal opinion doesn't matter. Like I said, when it comes to business, you have to take the ego, you have to take the I out of it, and really come as a business, because your competition doesn't know the person. You may know the person. You may be on first name basis with this person. Your competition may not know, and somebody may just be comfortable going to a stranger because they don't feel judged, and they don't, there's no relation really.
Right.
On the contrary, somebody will tell you, no, I would rather go to someone I can relate to, somebody that understands my situation.
Right.
And when it comes to, between two African, people go, why did you go to Joe and not me? I had to start asking myself, and I think I've learned it from big corporation, is I stopped asking, why did the client didn't come to me? To actually have truly healthy competition. Stop asking, why did the client, why didn't they choose me? The question should be, what didn't I do for them to come to me? That's what create, I believe, healthy competition. Clients will have their choices, but once you start asking that question, what didn't I do to make them choose me? All of a sudden, it's like, oh, maybe I can practice better. I can market better. I can do this. I can, let me ask them, what did you offer them?
Right.
And it becomes, oh, maybe I'm missing something, right? Healthy competition is realizing that you're lacking something that can make you better than your competition.
Yeah, the willingness to learn. And it all boils back to connection, like we talked about from the very beginning. Doesn't matter the service, the product, your business, it's all about connection. It really is.
Yeah. Let's see if we have some questions.
Yeah, look at some questions.
Well, we have Jusito Go, we have Amos, we have a few people coming
Hi,
in.
Amma, even from Senegal. He's watching from Senegal. That's awesome. Hi, Amma. So, going back to what you guys said, it's just a matter of improving the services, improving the product, and also seeking collaboration. We might offer the same services or the same product, but it's obvious that you may have an expertise in an area of that business, and the competitor can also have a different expertise. So we can still offer the same service or product and still collaborate. When I have a client that is coming to me and I know that Jack will be able to help that client better, I can send the client to Jack.
Stop there. How many people actually think that?
Right.
That's
It's a
really the
mindset.
question. It is a mindset. Because most people will go, oh, maybe I will do my best so I can keep all their business.
Right.
So they don't even turn their eyes to look at my competition because they may like them better. Insecurity is also a big deal in competition. Once that insecurity settles in, you go, if I try to make them see something different than me, they may just leave me completely.
Right.
And then go to that person.
I think also when I think of healthy competition, for me, it used to be reactive. So somebody, another company, another coach was doing something, and then I wanted to react to it. I wanted to do it like them. And I had to shift to proactive approach. And that's where I go back to seeking out purposefully, learning from, asking questions, seeking to understand. Instead of waiting for they're already doing it or they're doing what I want to do, be proactive about, and that goes back to the complacency. It keeps coming full circle here for me. But it's being proactive about being competitive and being out there and learning from others so that you're not staying there. And when you are staying there and only reacting when something's come your way or you're seeing it and feeling it in your business, you're already behind. You're already digging yourself out of a hole.
Correct.
And you don't have to be in that hole.
And the truth is, how many people, right, and that's a question to the audience, is how many people will truly say honestly that they can go seek out information from their competitor? I don't believe a lot of people will say, oh, I do.
Yeah.
But me, I work in insurance, and when I sit with other agents that work for other company, I'm asking, what are the new product you guys are offering, right? What are this that you guys do? And they go, we do this, and we are more specialized in this and that. I'm like, oh, I don't do it. But if somebody come and ask me,
Right.
I will. But then, by the way they're telling me about that product, I start learning from their drive, their presentation, or somewhat. I challenge most business owners usually. I say, seek out your competition and have coffee with them.
Yeah, collaboration. Like
Not even
bring it
collaboration,
together.
have coffee with them.
Yeah.
Chat with them. Almost make them uncomfortable. Because if they know that you are a competitor, you're making them also a little uncomfortable, a little nervous. So what do they want? Yeah, what do they want? What do you want from me?
Right.
But it's a good thing because if nothing else, it shows that I'm not your enemy. I'm more, your friend.
Right.
And also something that I've seen practice in the US is sending spies to your competitor.
Correct.
To see what they're doing. Yeah, that's something that people also practice here in the US.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Spying on the competition.
Personally, for me, it's just not upfront, and so I think I don't like it. I'd rather just be upfront. I get it. I understand. I'd rather just be upfront, and I think there's a line there that we keep unhealthy competition alive.
Correct.
By doing it deceitfully and spying on. Now, it's all in your interpretation, some of that is, because is me going to different websites and seeing what other coaches and entrepreneurs are doing with the same business spying? I look at that as me being proactive about seeing what's out there and learning from others. But I think if we're setting out to spy, if you will, or not be upfront about why we're there and what we're trying to learn, I think we keep unhealthy competition alive.
And that's truly what people do. People do keep unhealthy competition alive because they either are spying on somebody, trashing somebody. Because the funny thing, me being in insurance, do you know how many people come to me and say, "Oh, so and so say they can beat your rate by $5." Do you think I just go, "Oh, so and so company is trash. They will not offer you a good thing. They not no."
That speaks more about your character.
Correct.
If you
But
respond
the
that
character,
way.
that's it. When you take your ego out of the way and you consider business to be business, and I mean, people really truly get their feelings hurt personally. But when you take those emotion, right? Somebody told me one day, emotion out of business make transaction amazing. Emotion plus business make just drama everywhere. So I have to take, I call the 1, 2, 3 don't react moment and just go 1, 2, 3.
Deep
You
breath.
know what? I appreciate you bringing this to me, right? If you believe this is the best thing for you, I appreciate it. But let me again remind you all the benefits.
Right.
Or all the things that you get with me.
Right.
But if you choose otherwise, I guess next time we'll talk.
Right. And you kept your focus on you and
Correct.
your business.
Correct.
You didn't give attention to the negative situation, the negative, the negativity that was being spoke.
Chantal, say hello. No.
Hi.
Somebody said that we should know more about the lady and Jack.
Okay, so maybe some are just
Didn't join
connecting.
from the
beginning. Yeah.
So Suzanne, again, what do you do?
Yeah. So I'm Suzanne Combs Brown. I own a coaching and speaking business called Kairos Culture. And I just help people in different areas, whether it be business, entrepreneurship, personal, professional, you name it, and just how to live out your best life.
Thank you, and Jack?
Me, you talk insurance, you talk to me. Anything that has to do with insurance for property and casualty, life and health, I'm in it. I serve all the communities in the Midwest, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota. I'm everywhere.
Nice. So, do you know what I found very interesting when it comes to the insurance business, especially with your agent? The more your agent is doing good, the better it is for you.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's so different from every other business. When, for instance, as a business owner, I have someone that, you have a coaching business, so that's very different. For instance, for me, I may have people come to me, hey, can you teach me how you do your business? That's a competitor that I'm training to become a competitor.
Right.
How do I handle that? In the insurance business, when you train people, you're training them to be better than you. That way.
No, but again, remember, there's other agents, people that want to get into the insurance business. Remember, I worked for someone before I did my agency. You have to understand, it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
If somebody come and ask me about the insurance business, guess what? Any business that requires your persona, your face, right, your attitude, it does not matter all the tricks of the book that you give the person. You can train them from A to Z. I remember my mentor told me one time, right? He was teaching me something about life insurance, and he does it. He says, sit with me and my client, right, and see how I do it. And he went on and did all that. And then the first thing I thought of is in my head, I'm like, I'll do it different. But I've learned how it goes. So I'm like, you know what? He used a pulley system. No, I will use a bucket system. So somebody can come and say, oh, Deborah, teach me what you do. Okay, I will teach you what I do.
Right.
But can you do it, present it, bring it the way I do? Somebody can say, teach me how you speak to people, right? All the tactics.
Yeah.
But your charisma on the stage
Right.
is not the same as somebody else.
Right.
I went to Toastmasters and I talked to them all that. I heard people talk and I'm like, I heard some people talking. They said they're good speakers. I'm like, that wasn't it. On the contrary, there's another person that spoke and I'm like, oh my God, I like this person.
We have a comment.
Yeah. Well, they say each person is different in their approach with their potential clients. Jack is right. Just be you, okay?
Thank you so much, Chantal.
Yeah. I'll just add, to me, when I'm teaching someone to do what I do, that is the essence of leadership, right? So in my 19 years in corporate America, my job is to develop leaders. And the biggest compliment to me is when someone wants to learn from me. And I always teach my leaders that my goal is that I can work for them one day. And so I think that's the essence of leadership. It's teaching your skills, teaching your, the things that you know to be true and that you felt success with and found success with, and teaching those to others. Because you're not going to want to do this forever. You're going to move on, and you want that succession plan. You want to know who's going to carry these things on, because you feel strongly about them in the world. So to me, that's the biggest compliment.
Sometimes
being a
those
leader.
people are your backbone.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an Asian culture that they say the sensei, the master, is truly a master when their students are better than they are.
Yep.
So you actually are not good at what you do if you cannot duplicate yourself. Right? So if you see as a competition, it's more of a threat that you see. But if it's truly competing, you're very good if you can duplicate you. Because now you made a carbon copy of you that have its own personality.
Right.
And that person, believe it or not, will always remember that, oh, I've learned this from Deborah, but I do this way.
Right.
So
It's mentorship, it's
Correct.
sponsorship, it's advocacy. That's the essence of it.
Well, I think we've come to the end of our discussion today.
Yes. Good talk.
Any last word?
I would let Suzanne go.
I would just end with, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I love the topic, and I think it's important that we talk about this topic and others. I know you have some other ideas, so
Yes.
I'll look and watch for those. But I would just say that competition, in its true essence, is necessary, like we talked about, and truly it helps us be better if we're willing to look at it as a learning environment and look at it from a connection space and look at it from a relationship building space. It truly helps whatever service, whatever product, whatever business we are trying to run and grow. It helps us be better, and it's really about our mindset. And you're not going to come across everybody that has that belief, but your example around that can rub off on others and can show others that truly is a gift. So I would just encourage anybody watching or that sees this to give it a try. If that's not your mindset, give it a try. This next week, reach out. Like Jack said, ask to have coffee with someone doing the exact thing you're doing, and seek information and seek to learn and see what happens with it.
And I would take this from the immigrant perspective. We are taught that anybody that do what we do is a threat to us. And I sincerely want to say, I think we will do better as an immigrant community if we start looking at competition more as a learning opportunity. We will do amazing. I mean, the amount of people I know that do duplicated things, people in IT, people in insurance, if we can just get together one time and talk about what we do, we will learn so much about what we're doing that make us all better for it. So I challenge each immigrant like me that owns a business or do something. If you know somebody that does what you do and you believe they're your competition, I promise you, be the weird person. Go, seek out, ask for their counsel or advice. And you'll be surprised what you'll learn.
Make it your goal. I just thought of it. Make it your goal to turn your competitor into your ally.
Correct.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? So that's powerful.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you, Jack, for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.